Cruiser. Oh, Cruiser, it's Easter, it's Easter. It's Easter, and this is Mr. Cruiser.
Star Wars still sucks.
Only you. Anyway,
No, so
welcome tonight, everyone, to another nerdy episode of another nerdy talk show. Where I'm here with my usual host, the Concert Cruiser, and Jibba. So it's Easter, and we're talking about something that was announced 2 weeks ago. Again, I must apologize.
Yep.
So why are we talking about this now? Well, simple, because Ants wasn't it because I was doing Evan Can't Draw 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you're probably wondering, where the fuck were you 3 weeks ago? Well, let me tell you the story. We were doing our April Fool's episode, and I was gonna do like essentially do like a coin hunt thing where I told the guys, okay, I want you to take up as much of the screen as possible. You can move them around as much as possible with no context. And in post production, I was gonna put coins all over the screen that would rotate at like different moments, and the person who would move over the most coins would win. I got the idea from Adult Swim. So we were halfway through the show talking about the new Disney Park editions, as well as Epic Universe and everything like that, which Cruiser did talk about again in Evan Can't Draw last week's episode of Evan Can't Draw. Sounds like I had a good time. But midway through, I was trying to check the sound there, and I noticed the thing wasn't playing. And yours truly realized, I'm like, guys, I got some bad news. I forgot to hit start stream. I forgot. So yes,
it's right up there when Evan said that he was not going to have a mass debate with me.
that was still okay. I still think that was a stupid interpretation. That was just Cruiser being Cruiser. That being
Oh
said,
no, we all got in on a Jablonski and Ned Cecil. We all got it.
that being said, yes. Funny enough, I posted this on the Creative Skull Cult, and I feel like an idiot. He's like, okay, here's the deal, Evan. You're a streamer. Everybody goes through it once. It's like a streamer's tradition, and I'm like, yeah, right. And he's like, no, seriously, it's happened to me like twice. In fact, it's actually I know the feeling. This is why I love the Creative Skull Cult. Shout out to the Creative Skull Cult, Chris O'Vamery. I gotta have. Come on, man. Good on Evans Can't Draw. I would love to draw alongside you, buddy. A good Swedish bro. So, that being said, it's Easter, and we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. But before we go, I want to tell Cruiser about a game I learned about. Have I ever told you about the religious Guitar Hero game?
Square Hero.
Cruiser, I've never told you
What?
this. Have I ever told you
No.
about the Christian Guitar Hero game?
No.
So there is a Christian Guitar Hero game called Guitar Praise.
Okay.
I'm going to read you down this game the list of songs. You know what? I'm not going to go through the songs. I'm just going to go through artists. You can ask me if this song's on it, but I'm going to go down, okay?
Mm-hmm.
12 Stones, Audio Adrenaline, Bride, um Cade Mom's Call. I apologize for pronouncing that wrong. Casting Crowns, Chris Tomlin, Daryl Evans, David Crowder Band, Day of Fire, DC Talk, December Radio. Oh, December Radio. It's all one word. That's actually pretty clever. Family Force 5, Flyleaf, Hawk Nelson, Inhabited, Israel and New Breed, James Clay, Jared Anderson, Jennifer Knapp, Jeremy Camp, Jesse Daniels, Jonah 33. That sounds like a gosh darn screen name. Don't you like bands that have like numbers in them for some reason at the end? Josh Bates, Cutlass. Fuck is that? Lincoln Brewster, Nate Sally, Nevertheless, Newsboys, Paul Balouche, Petra, Pillar, Red, Reliant K, Sanctus Real, Seventh Day Slumber, Skillet, Spoken, Stellar Cart, Stephen Curtis Chapman, Super Chick, Striper, There's a lot of Striper on this. There's like 20. There's like 25 Striper songs. The Crucified, This Beautiful Republic, 1,000 Foot Crutch. That's a name I haven't heard in years. Toby Mac, Todd Agnew, Warren Barfield, White Cross, and Zogirl.
I have only heard of 8 of those bands.
Okay.
I've heard of 11 of them.
Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you. So what bands have you heard of, and ask and I'll tell you the songs.
Okay, 12 Stone.
12 Stone was Broken.
Didn't even know those guys were a Christian band. Let's see here. DC Talk.
DC Talks Jesus Freak.
I've heard that one. Flyleaf.
Flyleaf is Perfect.
Not familiar with that one. Skillet.
Skillet has 3 songs: Rebirthing, Savior, The Older I Get.
I've come across those songs, but I haven't heard them.
I didn't even know Skillet was a Christian band.
Jeremy Camp.
Jeremy Camp, he has 2 songs on here: Take You Back and Tonight.
Okay, Toby Mac.
Toby Mac. Let me see. Dear Lord. He has a lot of songs. He has Boomin', Extreme Days, Gone, I'm For You, Made to Love, One World.
Okay, 1,000 Foot Crutch.
I didn't even know 1,000 Foot Crutch was I only like one song by them, and it's Puppet. Phenomenon, The Flame in All of Us, The Art of Breaking. 1,000 Foot Crutch is a Christian band? Let me see. Huh, look at that. Christian rock, Christian metal, heavy metal. Yeah.
And Striper.
Striper. Oh my god. There's like 20 of them. I'm just gonna go through them quick. 4-Leaf Clover, Calling on You, Caught in the Middle, Eclipse for the Sun, Everything, Free, I Believe, IGWT, Live Again, Loud and Clear, Love Is Why, Makes Me Want to Sing, Mercy Over Blame, More Than a Man, Murder by Pride. There's a song in a Christian Guitar Hero band called Murder by Pride. My Love, I'll Always Show, Open Your Eyes, Reach Out, Reborn, Sing Along Song, Soldiers Under Command, The Plan, The Way, The Hell with the Devil. There's a song in a Christian metal Guitar Hero band called The Hell with the Devil. Wait for You. And that's it.
Okay,
I'm
so
surprised.
definitely songs.
All right, Cruiser.
You know what I'm surprised isn't in that list?
Who?
Fireflight.
I think I said they were.
They were?
No, I said it's Family Force and Flyleaf. Is that a song? Or
Yeah,
is that
no. That's a band name. Is Fireflight.
Mm.
Like, okay, so
my
I
question is,
knew
Cruiser,
a whole bunch of those.
with this list, I know you don't know all of them, but with this list, would you say I'm gonna put you in the one? I'm putting you in the hot seat, the 1cam hot seat right now. Okay. In your opinion, thumbs up if based on those artists and the songs alone, metal game video game, or not metal video game. I knew you were gonna do that, you motherfucker. You get the little fucking emoji. Do we have any white metal bands in there? I don't know.
But
White metal.
Yeah, white metal.
The fuck is white metal?
You know how black metal's like all satanic?
Yes.
White metal's like the opposite. You never heard of white metal?
No.
Yeah, white metal. It's a
so
it's like it's like religious heavy metal.
yeah, but I want to say for a good chunk of time, I was I did dip my toes into the whole Christo music sphere.
Christo.
Mostly, I just call it Christian music. Like, I don't know what to put it. It's Christian music thing, shit. Because I used to go to a youth group to keep my friend company.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was something else, cringeworthy even for me.
Sir. Ants is a Christian stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Fucker.
Fucker.
But anyways, I went to a
Yeah,
you know how like a lot of amusement parks do like Christian events.
vaguely. I mean, like it depends on the
Yeah,
park, but yeah.
I got to go to one.
Oh, how
Yeah,
was it?
Universal does rock the universe.
Yeah, it wasn't Universal. This was like Six Flags Darien Lake.
I think they do one at the House of Blues at every like Sunday at Disney Springs. I could be
Yeah,
wrong. Do
you
they?
went to the Six Flags in Buffalo?
Yeah, I used to go
Wow.
there for a little free, for like once a year, I think, once or twice, depending. But
I used to go to that place myself.
yeah, but they had a Christian event there,
Cool.
and a few buddies of mine and I went because free trip to the fucking park.
Cool.
And I used to what my friend and I did. We went to the campgrounds area. Got like a 2 liter of soda. I think it was like 2 or 3 liter soda, and we just get a straw, walk around the park. We sat and watched Fireflight perform,
Cool.
and then we rode some rides, blah blah blah. And at night we got to see Newsboys in concert. And
Okay.
I'm saying, and I'm sitting there getting chilly. I take out my new blanket, a Black Label Society blanket.
So I'm looking. I looked up white metal, right? So it white metal's just a sub is a sub is like a the real like overall genre is Christian metal. White letters like an alternate name, but they have two other names. Unblack fusion genres include unblack metal, Christian death metal. That is the greatest name for a genre I've ever heard. And these two, Jesus metal or
I've heard that.
heavenly metal.
I am familiar with Jesus metal.
I don't know.
Supposedly,
I don't know what's better.
supposedly with Jesus,
Sorry, go on.
supposedly with Jesus metal, it's where uh
Jesus
your
metal.
songs are not overtly Christian, but you can definitely tell it is about Jesus and Christianity.
Oh my god. I don't know which is better, Jesus metal or
I'm
heavenly metal. That's just great.
Heavy Metal has a better ring to it,
Yeah, it's a good pun.
but I'm some. It's like I don't mind Christian music as long as like I even though I am Christian, I don't like overtly Christian music. I yeah,
But
it's
it goes back to what I said with emo music. It depends on how thick you lay it on. Like in the early days, I think Stain did it a bit was a bit too strong with their lyrics. Uh,
the early
their
days. Oh yeah,
Yeah, but their latest album, surprisingly, the lyrics were better.
I'm gonna put it right here. One of my favorite Christian artists was a guy named Carmen Lociardello. I showed Cruiser this music video. I'm like, I'm gonna show you the best cute Christian music video ever, and he did a song called "Satan Bite the Dust," where it takes place in the Wild West, and he busts into this. Carmen, the singer, just
I
busts,
remember
and you saw that, and you looked at me and says like, "Okay, that was the most badass Christian music video I've ever seen in my life." Oh,
that.
rest in peace, Carmen. Rest in peace,
oh
man.
so one of the ones that I've actually been listening to a lot lately. Uh, it's not rock. Holy Drill,
I'll give you a
Come
holy
across.
drill.
huh? What are you saying, Cruiser?
I think I came across that name somewhere, probably on Spotify.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeshua was the song that like got me fucking hooked.
Uh, the one band on there that I'm mostly familiar with is Skillet. I actually saw them in concert earlier this year when they came to Tampa, and me being me, I waited around to see if I could meet them, and I did meet the singer slash bassist, who's kind of like the leader of the group, and I told him that I first, that I've always heard of them, but I never heard their music until I went to Welcome to Rockville 3 years ago, and they were doing their song uh, Invincible, and the chorus goes, I feel it," and I went, "What was that catchy tune?" And
Are you feeling it now, Mr.
Are
Krabs?
you feeling? I was about to say.
And the other thing too that I thought was interesting is the singer. I'm trying to remember his name. Something Cooper went to. He actually appeared. And I'm not getting too political here, but he went on a political commentator show named Michael Knowles, and they were playing this yes no game. And one of the things where basically they're given a question, and the guy, in this case him, he has to give a yes or no answer, but he doesn't tell it straight up yet. The guy given the question has to ask, what he has to predict what he thinks the answer is. And the question or the prompt was, are Christian bands just as guilty of living the rock and roll lifestyle, sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Cool.
And Michael said, "I'm going to say no." And Cooper goes, "I'm sorry to say, but yes."
Oh man.
And he said, for some of these people, like, yeah, it is in fact a grift for them. And I was crushed to find that out. He even said that he would much rather be around with some people who aren't who are up who are part of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle, because at least he knows what he's getting into. But with some of these other, like, Christian man, and keep in mind, his wife is in the band. His wife is the drummer.
Cool.
Uh, so there'll be people hitting on his wife, and he's like, "Dude, the hell." So that was a bit of a disappointment when I heard that.
Well, at least they still pray before shows. That being said, now we got that out of the way. That was our connection to Easter today. So I wanted to bring up the whole Switch 2 situation. So first of all, I want to apologize that we're 2 weeks late. Our schedule kind of pushed us back a little bit. But I got to spend.
Fuck
John,
off.
What did you say?
no, wait, no, John Cooper. I didn't think his name was John, but okay, well, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
so we were I was bringing up the announcement was made 2 weeks ago, and a lot of stuff has come in, some ins and outs and everything like that. And I thought we'd go over to it. So first of all, there was a lot of hype behind this. What do you think of the name Switch 2?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely better than what they did with the Wii U, because everybody thought it was just an updated, Wii. They didn't think they had to get, a whole other system, but no, they did.
Yeah,
At least this kind of gives the idea that no, this is a whole, new system. It's the sequel to the first. So,
What's it?
plus, I mean, PlayStation did it. So can you really get mad?
Oh yeah, I mean they kept. I think the difference though is because PlayStation kind of like kept up the tradition with the numbers. Like this is the PlayStation 1, this is the PlayStation 2, this is PlayStation 3. PlayStation has really unoriginal names now that I'm looking back at it.
And I remember, like, when PlayStation 2 was coming out, there was a commercial saying, PlayStation 9, teleport yours today. And it said coming in 2009. Gee, you're a little late.
God, who made a system? Who made PlayStation 9 in 2009? Who made the system? Soldier Boy.
Bitch, we're on the PlayStation 25 now. What are you fucking talking about?
Exactly. At that point, I'm imagining like, you ever seen the you've seen Men in Black, right?
Yep.
You know how that scene was like, this is gonna replace compact discs one day. I like to think that's the prototype for the PlayStation like 25. But anyway, yeah, Switch 2, I feel like it was more like a fan kind of thing. Like, when it comes to like Nintendo, the best way to describe it is like how they came up with the name Nintendo 64. If you don't know, you know why they call it Nintendo 64, right?
64 bits.
Well, yeah, there's another reason why the 64 obviously means that, but the reason why they called it Nintendo 64 was because back then video games would just be called the Nintendo. So they thought, nah, the people don't call it the NES or the SNES or or Super NES. We're just going to call it the Nintendo 64. So I think it was like more or less a thing with the public referring to a new prototype for the Switch as the Switch 2. So I will say there were some YouTubers that have tried it out. One of my favorite YouTubers, Cat Icarus, actually was invited to a trial event in London, I believe, or maybe in Brisbane. I can't remember. He got to go there and he did his review of it. He said, "This is a good console. It feels perfect compared to the other one there." And he actually addressed a concern I had was with the Joy Cons. So if you don't know, people, the Joy Cons, they're magnetic now, if I'm not mistaken.
This is cool.
Magnetic, and they also have a lock.
Yeah. Well, one of my concerns was kind of with the other one there is they would easily fall out, or like they're so loose they could like break off the sides or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Cat Icarus got a good deal with it. He said like it feels snug in your hands, the picture looks good, and it just feels right. It feels absolutely right. The Joy Cons feel supersized. It's bigger, which I'm really happy they're doing because I like the Joy Cons there. They're fine. I like how they're like itty bitty because like it feels like your own personal little remote. It's just the aesthetic, not perfect, but it kind of feels cute. But this one it just feels perfect because like when you hold the portable system, do your hands get tired as well? Like
Yeah,
you get that
I can't do handheld mode for very long.
because it makes your hands like tingly.
It it feels like my hands cramp.
Well, sometimes I just take my hand off
I
and
like the
go
Pro
like.
controller so much.
But yeah, he said the system felt great to hold. It was pretty good picture wise. He likes the stand in the back because the other one's like flimsy.
Well, I would assume it's yeah better to hold. It's a lot bigger.
Oh yeah. He thought it was pretty good with the what they came up with. He got to play Mario Kart. What was it called? Mario Kart World. Yeah, Mario
Yeah.
Kart World. I'm gonna be putting back there. He said the gameplay was pretty good. He liked it. I forgot what he said the problem was though. I forget. I can't remember what his exact problem was. But yeah, he said he'd get it when if he gets the chance. I'm probably not going to get it instantly because I want to see. I'm following Jablonski's advice of waiting for the upgrade to happen. During the presentation, one of the biggest things they brought in was them finding an interesting way for gamer chat, which is ballsy. It's I think the idea they got with the camera system is a very ballsy choice.
It'll be better than just what their alternative was, which was just use Discord.
Well, they also had a cell phone app which you could just use that. But the thing is that I do like how the thing has a microphone in there now, as well as the what was the new button they added, Jablonski?
Oh, the chat button.
Yeah, the chat button. You can go and chat with people like visually or anything like that. First of all, I don't like the design. I kind of like the design, the simplified version of the camera. But come on, man, you couldn't make it a Lakitu holding a camera. Come on, Nintendo.
Oh, someone's gonna 3D print it.
I was about to say, Jablonski, I have an idea for you. We'll share the profits. It's our idea. No, anyway, probably not so much what I thought of it, but I think I mean like when it showed them you can see people chatting with like cam. They basically made their own version of Discord,
Mm.
and you can see their game footage, and then yeah, it's all choppy and everything. It looks kind of disgusting to look at, but at the same time it's like, what are you expecting? Come on. There's a noise canceling microphone built into the Switch now, which is pretty good. um
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think of the overall chat feature?
I'm
Of
probably not
the
going to use it unless I'm playing with actual friends. I don't like the idea of gaming with total randos I don't know.
I don't know if that was a feature on it. Are they doing like a Skype I want to meet new people kind of deal, or like what?
Yeah, I'm not against it,
I wouldn't think you'd be. I mean, it's
but
nothing to go against.
for a chat feature, I think it's just gonna go bad.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to do good. Like, say what you will, I like the innovative idea. The thing is that a lot of Nintendo's online stuff has a history of being choppy, but I'm assuming it's going to be improving with like newer models and everything. That's why I'm probably going to go with the next model. However, the chat thing, I'm not really seeing why you would want to share gameplay unless it's like an online system because there's just something about like trying to find yourself somewhere, and they got a lot of games coming out here that's going to be do a lot of like online line stuff.
Yeah.
But I need to ask,
Ooh.
what are you oohing about?
WrestleMania stuff.
Eh. Anyway, one of the other thing, but yeah, the chat thing was like the main focus of the feature. Like it's clearly like the one thing you want to take a look at. I'm gonna need to see how it plays out. I want to see what happens, etc., etc. But like one of the things that's just getting me weirded out is that one. So like I don't know why, but I'm hoping it will get some sort of improvement throughout the times. Um, Let me go over this. I'm gonna go over the specs real quick, just so people know what's going on here. I'm just gonna, where is it? Okay, so the specifications. It uses a 7.9-inch 20 centimeter LCD touchscreen with 180 resolution and HDR, which supports a refresh rate up to 120 hertz. When docked, the console can output 1440p at 120 hertz at 4K resolution at 60 hertz. Um, the original Switch is OLED revision. Wait, they don't know. They considered using the OLED one, but they decided not to do it with more of the LCD stuff. They got a lot of good chip. There is going through its chip specifications. Macro SD will be the supporting thing there. It's using a lithium ion rechargeable battery. That's the thing. I'm assuming the battery life will. They assume the battery life will be around 6.5 hours.
I've been hearing a lot shorter.
I can imagine. Like honestly, the battery life thing. I'm like I don't really care. I don't really care. It's a portable system. What were you expecting?
Uh, a portable system that won't last longer than 3 hours.
To its credit, the system is meant to be namely docked. The portable system is like just like a take it as you go kind of
Then
deal. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but at the same time too, if it's going to be portable, it needs to last portable hours, which
Define
is kind
portable
of
hours.
why uh, for a game like Tears of the Kingdom, should be able to play. You should be able to play it for like the battery should be able to hold for like about eight
Yeah.
hours, 6 to 8 hours.
So here's another thing that's going to
But
be interesting. Outside Japan, the Switch 2 does not use regional lockout. Um,
it does not.
it will not be using regional lockout. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, you can't if you make a second. I don't know. I think you guys know that if you go on your Switch right now, and make a second account from Japan, you can download Famicom games
Yeah,
and Super Famicom games for free. But it wasn't so much stealing as it is just a perk, like a hidden perk. But yeah, you
yeah.
can't. Japanese Nintendo accounts cannot be set for other. Let me see here. Nintendo will sell in Japan. The Nintendo will sell this standard international multi-language model and a cheaper model that only works with Japanese Nintendo accounts that cannot be set to other languages. This was made to like appeal to the Japanese market and combat the weak Japanese yen. The Joy Cons, um, they are addressing the drift issue.
Yeah, it's
Good.
magnetic.
They'll be larger and more durable. They are going to be magnetic. The Hall effect sensors will not be used as people predicted, but the new joysticks are designed to be smoother and more reliable. The SL and SR buttons on the side of the controllers have been enlarged with a new C button, which is pretty cool because it's been a while since we've seen C buttons on anything.
Yeah,
With that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing what they go with that. There's an infrared sensor from the first generation, as usual, and the big thing with the Joy Cons was the computer mouse function. I honestly don't see a lot of it, but Cat Icarus did address something that I did have concerns of. He did get a chance to try the computer mouse perk with it, And he says it feels good. It feels good, but I was worried about whether or not. What if you don't have a desk or something? You can use your leg.
Well, I would think so.
Yeah. They and he said honestly, it feels better on your leg. It's kind of like you're using some sort of weird massage device on your leg or something like that. Massage or bleh. But like yeah, the cartridges they're doing like you can get like newer versions of like Switch games that are like HD, like Switch 2 revisioned. You can also take older Switch games you have and have them compat more like up to the standards of the Switch 2, which is weird. You have to pay
Yeah.
extra. We'll get to that later. Um, what did you guys think of that? Like the games that you can upgrade, like having the ability to upgrade your games to the Switch like standards.
What do you mean exactly?
Jablonski, can you
Oh yeah,
explain?
the Switch 2 version. Okay, so they're essentially doing an update pack, upgrade pack with the Switch 2 with Switch 1 games. Well, certain Switch 1 games to Switch 2. If you are a Nintendo Plus member, I think you have to have the expansion pack. You get the upgrades for free. It essentially just upgrade. It essentially just updates your game to be graphically aligned with the Switch 2. And a lot of these games are essentially just you got the regular Switch 1 game, but it'll have an access code to the upgrade. I
I
think it's more just
I'd have to see how it turns out.
yeah.
yeah. I do like the virtual console idea there, where you can actually have a friend borrow your Switch games virtually, and they can only play it for like a certain amount of time. I thought that was pretty good. Um, there's a tour game for the console called Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which category says was the best game they had on it, where you can basically you're me and you explore the surface of your Switch virtually.
You have to
Um,
pay for it.
oh yeah,
Screw that.
that was kind of something there. I don't know much about it, but it was like yeah. That being said, there was a lot of games that they're teaming up with Activision Blizzard, AO Interactive, Capcom. They got a lot going on there. So some of the stuff that are coming are the Final Fantasy VII remake, Hades 2, Borderlands 4 is coming, Yakuza, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk. I'm looking forward for Cyberpunk to see what my thoughts on it would be. Hitman's going to be there, Street Fighter 6, Daemon Ex Machina is going to be on there, Split Fiction,
That was a shocker.
EA Sports is releasing shit. They also got Warriors, another game coming out, Age of Imprisonment, which looks really damn good. I really
It
want to get.
does.
I played the original high.
Uh,
Yep. Microsoft Gaming's Phil Spencer said that they will support the Switch 2 with ports of their Xbox games as part of their multi-platform distribution strategy. I'm not surprised. Xbox are going down the toilet at this point. Such games reportedly include ports of Halo, the Master Chief Collection, finally, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Um,
that one's a fun one.
Nintendo will bring future entries of the Call of Duty franchise to their platforms as part of their acquisition bid for Activision Blizzard.
I have
Ubisoft,
a
sorry.
I have a feeling that's what a lot of the mouse function is going to be used for.
Yeah, which I like the idea. That actually was a smart move. So that way we can have more PC games imported into the Switch with using using the mouse deal there, and also having the controller option, kind of like it's a little portable computer, which I will say is a pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the Nintendo edition games will be Metroid Prime 4, the game I've been hyping for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Party Jamboree, Pokemon Legends ZA, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and other Switch games such as Mario Odyssey, Scarlet and Violet will be getting updates. Some of the There will be some other things that'll be backward compatible. Um, but the one game that was really advertised was was Mario Kart World. How long has it been since the last Mario Kart game?
Quite a while.
Honestly, I was not really into the Mario Kart games.
Really? You're not a Mario Kart player?
Not really.
This is actually a pretty good one. They're taking like a Diddy Kong Racer kind of deal, where you can explore, where like it's like open world. Like whenever you finish a race, you have to drive to the next track. There's also
Yeah.
the mission thing there. I like the idea there that you can go on like a little drive and you can pull over for drive through. And the drive through you
Mm,
get, it gives you a new costume. I thought that was really cool. Um, some of the stuff that was announced for this, I like the new course they have there. That's the haunted course. It's Boo Cinema, where you're in a haunted movie theater and the track like goes into the movie screen where you're in the haunted movie.
yeah.
They have the other stuff there in terms of mode. It's the usual stuff, knockout tour, where you have to be at a certain place in the race. Time trials, the versus battles there, battle modes there with balloon battle and coin runners. Free roam was just, you roam. Good stuff. You can also take photos. One of the things that was cool was the trick system. Now the new system is last time for Mario Part 8 was was it the anti-gravity thing that was introduced in that one?
I think so.
Yeah. This time they're adding a new thing where you can grind on rails. But the one thing that's really cool is if you miss a trick, you can rewind your car to try it again. But the twist is, as you're rewinding the car, the racers are still going. You have to say if you want to do it again. I don't see a lot of people doing it, but like, I think it's an interesting idea. At least they're trying to like cover all the corners with the small stuff. Let me tell you about some of the new items there. Coin shell, where it creates coins for you to collect by throwing a shell. Ice flower, hammers. Hammers. I like the mechanic with the hammers, where you throw it and they can get stuck on the road and people can run into them. What'd you think of that, Jablonski?
Mm, not a bad idea.
Cruiser, you think that's a creative idea?
Are we talking about?
The new Mario Kart items. One of the things is you get the Hammer Bros hammer as a weapon, and you throw it. It hits the cart, right? Well, there's an after effect to it. The hammers for like a couple extra seconds, they get stuck in the road, and racers can run into them, kind of like one of those like cop car like tire flattener deals. That's actually pretty creative. There's also the Mega Mushroom where they turn you into Attack on Titan. The feather makes a return, and there's the Kamek ability where you can summon Kamek to do spells to like transform them into other racers that make them slower. So it's pretty good. So it looks okay. So here's the character roster, and I don't like this character roster. I really don't like the new guys. They're mainly just Mario enemies. We got Goomba, Spike, Lakitu, Monty Mole, Piranha Plant, Wiggler, the Crab from Mario Brothers, Cheep Cheep, the Hammer Brothers, that annoying duck thing from Mario Sunshine. I thought that was funny. The Wrench, Monty Mole, a Flamingo from Mario Odyssey, I guess, a Pokey, the Penguin. But I think the one that's been getting a lot of attention is the cow.
Yeah.
You can play as the cow.
I'd be the cow.
Right? Cat Icarus basically said, yes, you can play as the cow. It is my new main. They don't give him a name. They just call him the cow. Oh yeah, one other game that was announced. Rhythm Heaven is making a resurgence. I
Yes.
can't wait to do this. There was an animation collab for Rhythm Heaven. Cruiser, you might actually like Rhythm Heaven as a game. Um, have you heard of it, first of all?
It sounds familiar.
It's like a beat game where you have to play mini games and you have to go with the beat of the game, of the music to perform stuff.
Mhm.
And it's really cool. There's this collab called Rhythm Heaven Reanimated where they took all the mini games and they like reanimated all of them. It plays out like a cool music video. I'll show it to you. You think it might be cute? I think you think it might be cute. But they're making a new one there. I would recommend Rhythm Heaven. You think Cruiser would be good on Rhythm Heaven?
Probably.
Yeah, just hold on. I'm getting hot in here and I got to strip.
Bow, wow, wow.
Thank you. So yeah, the games look good. So what do you think of the overall presentation of the Switch 2, Jablonski?
It was all right. I do have my reservations about it. buddy of mine
Jablonski, you're sinking.
suggest uh, buddy of mine suggested I wait a year because they usually tend to have an upgrade
Yeah.
or an updated one later on down the road. And uh, I'm like, yeah, so I'm probably gonna wait on it until maybe next year.
That's fair enough. I'm probably gonna do
Uh,
the same.
yeah, it's from I was told the battery life is not that great.
I mean, the battery life 6 hours is okay, is fine. It's better than what was the 3 hours of the original, but like, it's I think Nintendo's trying to like cover as many bases as they can with what they can do. I mean, like with Nintendo, it's gameplay than graphics, but yeah. Um, Cruiser, what do you think of the overall presentation and idea of the Switch 2?
We just have to talk about the price points.
I'm getting to it. To what we were talking about.
Okay. As far as the presentation goes, I will say that I do like it. Uh, I do like the Switch's gimmick, being both a portable and home console. Uh, but of course, the first model here had some problems. It seems like they're going to be fixed here in this one. But I don't know anything about the specs. Like, I don't know if the graphics are going to look better. I don't know if, as Jablonski
But
pointed out, the battery life is going to be an issue.
well, I said that like in the console mode, in the portable mode, it's gonna go from to 1080p, and when it's on the screen, it's gonna go to like 144p, which is like 4K.
Let's see how it turns out. I mean, it's on the execution.
I mean, like I said, yeah, with Nintendo, when it comes to that kind of deal, it's more like gameplay over graphics, which has been their like philosophy since like day one. But yes, let's.
I still remember, during the Wii's heyday, there was something that Reggie Fils-Aimé said that I thought was really, really stupid. He said, "We at Nintendo don't believe we have to compete with the folks of Microsoft or PlayStation. Bitch, yes you do.
Let's
Okay, this is still the open market."
I mean, I don't know what they could compete with, but like whatever works. So yes, let's talk about the thing everybody's complaining about and what's been going on here. The Nintendo Switch was announced afterwards that there will be two versions, the 450 version and the 550 version that would be used with the Mario Kart World. This is before taxes, I believe.
Before taxes, yes. So
Yes,
we are looking at about a $500 system.
yes, which I kind of called in the beginning, by the way. I just want to say that in the chat. The originals right now went marketed from 200 to 350 for the OLED. I think that, but I think this might be wrong because because they recently dropped the price of the Switch in order to make room for the Switch 2. And
Yeah,
the console, which yeah, that is valid and understandable. However, I don't quite know what people were expecting with a modern console and the recent inflation since 2017.
so okay, so when it comes to this, it's because of all the upgrades that they did with the system. And honestly, I honestly would say skip getting just the system, get the bundle.
Yes. According to the there was a way Nintendo did address this. Let me see here what they said. The price for the Switch 2 was not based on stuff that happened there. Um, it was simply due to the unit being a premium console alongside the three Switch consoles that they'll continue to sell. And for the most part, I agree with that. I can see what they're getting at. I mean, this is has more graphics than the current consoles right now. It's more of an upgrade considered to the OLED. So yes, I understand the anger. Like this is the thing with every console. Every console launch always has people complaining about the prices.
Yeah.
But Evan, you're forgetting something.
Yes, I know. I'm going to address the thing.
No, not that. Not that
What, the game prices?
$2.99.
I know what you're talking about, but that was like 1990 something.
Point is that price. I mean, if you remember the reaction that guy got, yeah, price does matter.
And how much is a PS5 right now?
Don't know. I don't own one. Don't have time to really play video games.
That's the thing. The price for the PS5 is like it's marketing like the same thing as the PS5. Literally the same thing. Again, this was a different situation. That was like the deal, but like one of the other things that was crazy is yes, the one I'm not against like surprised at the high price. I actually kind of called it in the chat if you remember. I'm like this is going to be 500 no doubt.
Yeah.
Doubt. And I understand. I don't mind that. What I do mind, however, are the prices for the games.
It's not going to be for every game.
Yes, I know it's going to be Nintendo exclusive. And yes, I know Nintendo and pretty much every other video game company when it comes to the properties of the games that the prices for them are going to be crazy because they're main titles. And uh,
Yes.
yeah, so they're going to be marketing from 80 to 90. Congratulations, kids. You're not going to get that multiple game set for Christmas or your birthday. Sorry, kids. I don't know. Maybe they
um,
might have deals out there, but thank God it takes old Switch games. I'll say that. I think Nintendo was in expecting the backlash for that, so that's why they kind of made it cross compatible with older games, which I think was a smart move.
yeah. Uh,
And
I
the
will
up
say one of the games I think,
and even the upgrade prices are not that expensive. I think they're like I don't know how much it was to upgrade. Again, well, not
and like I said before, if you have if you have a membership, you get them for free.
yeah. I mean aside from other stuff there, it's like depending on the marketing. But yes, I suppose I should probably address the other literal elephant that happened during the Switch's sales. The
Oh,
Switch
not you. Freaking gray elephants! I swear to God.
funny.
I got a red one over in the other corner.
Yeah,
I keep
sadly,
telling it to leave.
I'm glad you said it before me. So yes, the Switch was originally marketed for June of 2025, which I'm actually kind of surprised they were doing it because I thought it was going to be like they were going to go for like a Christmas release like the other one.
No, they're hitting the summer rush, and that is probably the smartest thing you can do
Oh
because
yeah, I
guess
agree.
what's coming out around the holidays? Guess what's coming up around the holidays?
I
GTA 6.
oh yeah,
No
of
one
course.
wants to fuck with that game.
Oh yeah, of course.
I ruined so many Christmases for kids when GTA 3 was coming out, or was it 4?
Oh yeah.
It was San Andreas, because I used to work for Walmart at the time and I would warn every parent, who was buying that game for their kid for Christmas what was in it.
Yeah. That being said, yeah, so now it's going to be released on June 5th, but this was not the case at one point. So let's talk about the situation that happened. As as you know, during that time, the tariff scare happened, and let me just go through everything. I had to do like a ton of research to like address it. Essentially, you know the whole tariff situation, everything was crazy. That it went live, it bombed horribly, and now they're getting a 90-day advance. So let me go through everything here as much as I can cover. I'm assuming there's much more. So because of this, the date was delayed because of that until things were worked out. So they had, in fact, but there were some precautions that Nintendo did take during this. Before the tariffs happened, and before the presentation, they apparently stockpiled a bunch in the U.S. When they had the chance,
Yep.
as well as Canada.
Yep.
Using the plastic they were using from China. They are now trying to acquire parts from other countries, including like Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Um, they did make a wait list recently, and essentially they and if I'm correct here, they did do that. The tariffs did give the tar- did I just say the terrorists? I apologize. The tariffs gave situation was like cruiser. I think you might know this one. They gave like a exception to like entertainment devices, was it?
Why should I answer? You didn't listen to me the first time.
I didn't hear you the first time.
Okay.
Did you say something over the mic? I might have canceled it out. Please excuse me.
No, it was really just about the whole tariffs in general.
Yes, I'm not gonna go into a political, like a whole rant about it, because it's like all over
I can,
Because he did, yeah, just like how he didn't want to go into the mass debate. I swear to God.
the. Yes,
So
we're not gonna
fair.
go into a mass debate about about the whole tariff situation. I'm afraid.
yeah, it'll be the whole conversation will be up and down, up and down, up and down the
Yeah,
entire
we'll go.
time, and then eventually
You know,
we'll get
Cruiser.
to
No, no,
kind
no,
of a
no, no, no.
climax, and then we'll have to go back
You know,
down,
Cruiser,
and
Cruiser,
then we'll get to
Cruiser.
another climax and go back
Okay,
down.
thank you, Jablonski. Cruiser, you've convinced me. No, that you both have convinced me. I'm gonna take advantage of it. We're not gonna have a mass debate about this because all it's gonna do is just go up and down, up and down. There you go. So yeah. Now what's gonna
That's what
happen?
she.
Congratulations. I'm now grasping it right now. I'm grasping it as hard as I can. So hard that I
Hey,
can
you're.
freaking
Careful,
squeeze
that's
that shit.
painful.
It's not my fault. You're not a master debater. I swear to God, dude. Just
I know.
you won't take lessons from me or Jablonski. We're pros at this stuff.
I
Yeah,
know.
right.
Seriously,
But
you see
any,
how.
but
That
anyway, I could
I know.
probably
It was the one
I
I know.
can
It was like
shed
that
light
one
on that.
I know you taught me that one time I slept with you.
See, I told you
Again,
he
people, we
was your
didn't.
butt buddy.
People, you don't have to give it out that fucking dirty mind. Me and Cruiser didn't fucking fuck in the bed. Come on, man. Cruiser, can you believe these
That's the
people?
butts.
Can you believe these people?
But anyway,
So yes, that's
I can fill in that blank. I can fill it in that blank for you. So it they say they're flip flopping it. They're saying, oh, it's an exception, nothing to worry about. Like, oh, it's a 90-day thing, and then no, blah, 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 back and forth, because dipshit can't make up the mind of his mind at all what he wants to do. So it's a clusterfuck. Best to just write it all out at this point, because paying attention to it is going to give you more of a migraine than it's
when did this
actually worth.
tariff situation become the Dash Rendar of politics? What the fuck?
All I'm going to say is that other countries have tariffs on us, and the other thing that Trump is one thing that nobody gives Trump credit for is that he actually does kind of see where things are going, and then he pivots, he adjusts accordingly. We had all these things that are coming towards us, and then China threw the hissy fit, and you could argue that China was our main target here. Uh, just because China they've been butting heads with everybody. I mean, I know some people were even giving Trump a lot of shit over the tariffs over because it was some country that was mostly inhabited by penguins. But
Oh yeah,
the whole idea why he did that is so that China couldn't build a factory there and try to get around the tariffs. That was the whole point. But people just laughed. They didn't bother to think it through. I got friends who run businesses, and they've I asked them about this, and they told me like, yeah, this has been a long time coming.
Hmm.
So the fact that we're you were kind of really dismissive about it, Evan, just kind of made me go, God, there's no point. He'll never
Well,
listen.
the reason I don't talk about it is because with when it comes to that kind of topic, like with tariffs, I don't have a full understanding about it. I don't usually like to debate something unless there's like a full understanding about it, honestly.
Well, yeah, but you made that post saying you voted for this. It's like you.
No, I didn't. Well, here's the thing, Cruiser. When I posted that, I didn't. I left no comment. I left no description. You don't even know why I posted it.
Oh please, dude! It was right on the day one of the tariff started. Okay, you're not fooling
Was it on
anybody.
day one? I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Honestly, that wasn't my intent. I just put stuff down there all the time. It.
And as far as this tariff or not tariff or trade war goes, let's see what happens. Okay, I mean we went through Biden and things sucked. Trump has earned the right to let him try out his method, and you know what? If it's good, then that's a point you just have to give him.
All right, I'm gonna give you a better point. Let's take this point to the final five. The reason the segue makes sense is because it's the Fox logo.
Nah, I think the first one you gave was better though.
yeah, first one was a better transition.
That was a good one.
Either way,
We're
pick
gonna
your
have
poison. Pick your poison there. For the record, I didn't vote. Anyway, wait, we're looking at the final five shit, final five, all that blackmailed tariff shit. I don't know, just whatever. We're just gonna go to Jablonski first. So Jablonski, your time begins now. Yeah.
No, not too much going on. I'm at crunch time with schoolwork for the next couple weeks. Other than that, been working on a couple printing projects. These being my latest ones. Star Wars credits. Other than that, stuff for wedding. My Easter went relatively well. My lovely fiance got me a new shirt with candy. Damn it. Got me this.
Cute.
And also a bunch of candy. I ate some of it already. But outside of that, not too much. I'm just focused on a whole bunch of stuff right now.
Okay then.
And that would give me that.
All right, you hit it right before the clock was about 2 seconds away. All right, next up we got the concert gloozer, the concert bruiser, the concert loser. He's not a loser. What am I saying? I love the concert cruiser. I don't know. Cruiser, go.
Okay. Was trying to figure out a plot point for my book that I was struggling to figure out, but I got it solved, so now I can get back to writing. I also just commissioned to have another character have a concept drawing for, which I just saw. She looks beautiful. I also just made an ad for my friend's con, Ultra Con, who's having an Ed, and Eddie reunion. There's 6 voice actors coming, including all 3 Eds, Naz, Johnny 2x4, and Rolf. So be sure to check that out.
Quick, give the date and location.
September 19th to the 21st in South and West Palm Beach, Florida. And once Silver Quill gets back from BabsCon, I can hopefully start doing the next Hoof Rock, but first I have to get Evan paid off.
Yes, you do. Take your time. Anyway, that's all for that one there. My turn here. I want to thank everybody for watching my stream about everything that was going on. Recently, I've been just back and forth on stuff. I gotta finish a project I'm doing for Galaxy's Edge, which you can see on the counter, if you see there, going May 5th. Aside from that, not a lot of other stuff happening for me. I'm editing back and forth. I'm honestly in a case where
What?
you know what? I can't say anymore. I'm sorry. That being said, thank you for joining us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you next. I'll be back next week with Evan Can't Draw. The week after that will be our May the 4th Star Wars special featuring me and Jablonski and Cruiser, who's probably going to be there dressed in a Star Trek uniform, knowing him. Cruiser, give me a closing statement, please.
I gotta take a piss. Can we end here?
It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. It's the end of the show, so don't blow it. End it right.
My life is a bacon-wrapped hell on earth.